Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, we are back here in Amaurot, where I wanted to do some quest lines in the city, mostly because Aethercurrents and interest. I must say, little one, those garments you're wearing, they are your own original concept, I take it? Clearly, they must be, given their rather singular flamboyance. I would never dream of stifling a fledgling creator's creativity, but to parade about in your cultivated individuality is hardly praiseworthy. An Amaurot type of character shares their creations with their community, but do not hoard them for their use alone. To delight in disparity is a mark of moral deficient. Disparity engenders feelings of want and resentment, which degrade the bonds of fellowship. Thus do we encourage creators to share and share alike, else we risk kindling the embers of covetousness and violence that ever smote in the hearts of all. Therefore I must implore you, little one, to cast aside your original trappings and don the communal robes, that you might acquit yourself as an equal among many. In so doing, you will be afforded greater respect and autonomy. Worry not, for this will be a simple affair. I recall seeing a gentle soul outside the Hall of Rhetoric, carrying robes perfectly suited for one of your diminutive stature. I'm sure they will be glad to share their wealth with you. But do hurry, little one. The eyes of a collective are ever watching and weighing your worth. Aren't we looking rather smart this evening? What can I do for you, little one? Robes to certain lure of your ensemble. Ah, how prudent. Alas, I have nothing I can offer you at this present time. The ones your associates saw me carrying earlier were a failed experiment. I never intended to make them so small, so I disposed of them shortly thereafter. Failed experiment? By your amused expression, I gather you find it odd that your elders can fail in so simple an application of creation magics? It is more common than you may realize, little one. In this instance, a gaggle of children was passing by as I held the image of the robes in my mind's eye. Simply by becoming aware of their presence was the form influenced, and the final product changed. All things considered, it could have been worse. Just the other day I was attempting to conceive a white-haired lion when all of a sudden this exquisite eagle alighted on the nearby railing, giving me quite the shock and dramatically altering my initial concept. Yes, indeed. It was a most unexpected development, but not an altogether unwelcome one. Great strides are often born from unexpected impetuses. But even inspiration has its limits. For all the wonders we have wrought, I do wonder if there will come a time when we have fully explored the potential of our powers, and there's truly nothing left unmade, and only iteration and imitation and stagnation remain. But such esoteric matters need not concern you, little one. For now, I would encourage you to embrace your creativity and work your magics without fear of failure. Nevertheless, it would still be in your best interest to don the appropriate robes to avoid excess scrutiny. Why don't you go to the bureau of the architect and request the appropriate concept so you can fashion one yourself? Welcome to the bureau of the architect, little one. Are you here to request a concept for personal use? If so, what sort of concept did you have in mind? Ah, communal robes. That would take but a moment to prepare. But before I fill your request, I should caution you. Pardon me for asking, but your creative potential is, relatively low, is it not? We are trying to assess these things, and I fear that you do not possess the ability to express this concept in physical form. It's almost as though you completely lack it, though that can't possibly be. But regardless of the reason, you needn't worry. We have special tools that may be used to address this very eventuality. I will furnish you with an etheric robe you can use to restrain one of the misbegotten cubuses that congregate in the plaza north of the Academia Anida. You will need to weaken your core before you can reliably bind them, but once you have, you can repurpose their energies to create your own robes. Yeah, remember that the ancient people just summoned their gear and created the city in like fashion. And that is an ability we no longer have because we are nowhere near the power level that is utterly normal for these people. And what's now? Screen, why are you freezing? Welcome back, little one. Did you succeed in binding a cubus? You have done well, little one. Allow me to siphon its energies and prepare the matrix for you. It should only take a moment. Here you are, a creation matrix that you may use to generate your own robes. The concept is inscribed upon the crystal, which has been infused with the ether of a beast you brought me. What? Why are you looking at me as though you do not know how to channel your powers of creation? It's as natural as breathing. Even a newborn babe has the instinct. Even if your potential is lacking, as one of our people, you must surely know what to do. Okay. But it seems the quest ends here, which is unusual for one with a picture. Okay. Continue with the bureau attendant when we're just here. Greetings and welcome to the Bureau of the Architect. Are you in need of assistance? It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you might have. To your left is the counter where you may submit registrations for new creations. To your right, you will find the counter where you may requisition concepts on file. Am I correct in assuming you're not familiar with the services we provide? I see. A more detailed explanation is in order then. You understand by harnessing the powers of creation, we can give physical form to all manner of concepts, yes? Picture a bouquet of fresh, fragrant flowers, all the colors of a rainbow. Picture those self-same flowers formed of delicate crystal, impossibly fragile and radiating hues beyond the visual spectrum. Every day our people push the boundaries of imagination to conceive new and striking designs like these. But there are limits to what a single individual can shape with their abilities alone. Those who harbor greater ambitions may offer their concepts to others here, that they might, with the strength of many, accomplish what one cannot. Not all concepts are approved for wider distribution, of course. Dangerous, subversive creations pose a risk to everyone, and so it's only after a comprehensive evaluation, after a concept is judged to further the greater good, that we permit it to be shared with the community. Do you understand, little one? Since you are here, I think you might benefit from conversing with some of the others currently availing themselves of our services. Why don't you go and speak with some of the citizens waiting for their registrations to be processed? Much as I would like to believe my explanation was more than sufficient, I expect that you may gain greater insight in this way. Hello, little one. So is it to see one of your size roaming about here? Come to learn about the Bureau, are we? I'm here today to register a new creature. Boneless and with semi-translucent skin, it drifts through the air like a dancer on a summer breeze. Its tentacles trailing behind. It utilizes gas bladders to propel itself from place to place, you see. I'll admit it's not the most elegant of designs. I'd not shed a tear if it were rejected, quite frankly. But what can I say? I take pleasure in conceiving unorthodox designs. A beginner like you shouldn't take after me, though. If you're looking to pick up a few tips, you should probably ask someone else. Ah, is it my number that they just called? If you'll excuse me. Are you the child I saw speaking with the attendant earlier? I thought so. So young and already so eager to learn about concepts and creation. That curiosity will serve you well, little one. I've been credited with a few popular concepts, I'm proud to say. I'm hoping that my latest will be equally well received. Autonomous figures. I say my latest, but really it's a product of many others' efforts and individual insights, but such is the case for every masterwork, I reckon. Autonomy notwithstanding, these creations know no fear. They are wholly devoid of emotion and will, without hesitation or resistance, engage in any dangerous activity, even if death is assured. There's a beauty in that, I think, and I hope the officials do so as well. I tell you, there's nothing more nerve-wracking and thrilling than a waiting period before you receive the result. I love it and hate it in equal measure. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about it. If you're still keen to learn more, why not pester the warlord over yonder? Come to think of it, I think the particular creation was designed to appeal to children. You there, an aspiring creator come to learn about the Bureau and its inner workings, I trust. That's all well and good, but since you're here, perhaps you can help me with a little something? I've been refining a concept of mine for some time now. Adorable little creatures designed to be the perfect plaything for any young citizens. But I'm still terribly unsure if they're ready to be submitted for approval. Which is why I was hoping you might first put it through its paces and tell me what you think. Your honest opinion, I'll have no flattery from you, young lady. This matrix will allow you to summon my creations, but don't use it here. Take it outside first. And don't be afraid to play rough, it's all part of the fun. Play rough, huh? Friend, play with friend. Down I go. How did you find my lovelies? Were they as delightful and engaging as I hoped? Tell me everything, spare no details. I say, they spouted nonsensical phrases and attacked you like mad beasts. How distressing, and not at all what I intended. My sincerest apologies to you, little one, for the unpleasant experience. Still, from this experience do we grow stronger and wiser. I look forward to the day when you will try your hand at creation too. And one more quest here. Debate and discourse. Greetings, little one. Come to debate, and at so young an age, how wonderful. Shall we retire to the benches and settle on a topic? Oh, my apologies for jumping to conclusions. My friends are not quite as fond of a hall of rhetorics as I am, so I have a habit of chatting up any potential conversation partners. So if you're not here to debate, I presume you're here to learn about the mysterious and esoteric going-ons here. It would be my pleasure to act as your tutor in these matters, if you would indulge me. The Hall of Rhetoric is, as its name indicates, a place where citizens may freely gather to discuss and debate all matter of topics. This central forum is ideal for open discourse, but smaller rooms are available for those desiring more intimate conversation. Oh, and there's a wealth of reading material concerning rhetorical techniques and histories penned by the greatest minds on offer as well, should you wish to refine your techniques through self-study. To my mind, however, rhetoric is a living, breathing thing that is best experienced in the moment of conception and execution. Perhaps a demonstration would best serve to further your education? I saw a contemporary of mine engaged in a lively debate earlier, just outside the hall. Go and see if they are still here, and issue to them my personal invitation to a friendly battle of wills. But this is precisely my point. With your obsession with its so-called mandate to approve only the most beneficial concepts for wider distribution, never mind the ridiculous subjectivity of their criteria, has led the Bureau of the Architect astray from its original purpose. Huh? Have you business with me, child? Regardless, I'm in the middle of a heated discussion with my partner. Come back later. No, my position has nothing to do with the intrinsic value of unique identity or whether or not it is retained. Rather, I posit that the reproductions of a given concept are inherently imperfect and thus they are themselves unique, albeit in minor but significant degrees, and most importantly, this variance is not to be condemned but celebrated. Better than that to strive in vain for an impossible standard that, even if met, would leave us lesser for the lack of diversity. The Amaurotides appear to be engrossed in their debate, utterly deaf to you and your pleas for attention. My, aren't you a stubborn little bugger? Strangely endearing, I must admit, but we have all the time in the world. Why are you so insistent that I speak with you this very instant? Ah, you're acquainted with that chatterbox. I suppose I do owe them a debate or two, but now is as good an occasion as any. So be it. I see you found my friend. Thank you, little one. Then without further ado, let us commence the promised debate. As to the matter of what subject we shall debate today, I propose the recent calamity which has befallen our friends across the pond. What say you? The singular point of contention is, of course, whether or not Amaurot should intervene on their behalf. I believe we should. The scale of the disaster which threatens that distant metropolis is of a scale heretofore unseen, and so equally considerable resources must be committed to counteract its effects. I disagree. The scale concerns me less than the nature of a proposition itself. Who are we to unilaterally intervene in the affairs of those half a world away? Are we to be the saviors of one and all? Such arrogance may well lead to our own downfall. While I understand your concerns from a philosophical standpoint, I fear you are too quick to dismiss practical considerations out of a desire to maintain an unassignable moral authority. But let us, you and I, hold here for the present and offer the floor to our young student. You have heard our opening salvos in this debate concerning the fate of our neighbors across the sea. What is your opinion on the matter? To ignore the plight of those we might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Indeed, indeed. The same can be said regardless of one's opinion on the morality of the intervention. There is a clear and undeniable benefit to Amaurot in using the situation as a testbed for our newest creations, that we might develop and refine our defenses against a potential threat to our own fair city. How readily you cede the moral high ground. Was it not our young friend's point that we have an ethical obligation to aid those in need? Yet not only do you instead elect to focus on the benefit to Amaurot alone, but you also deprive our distant neighbors of the agency to determine their own fate. You misunderstand me. What benefits Amaurot benefits all creation. I firmly believe, for the knowledge and wisdom we stand to gain from intervention can then be shared with others, empowering everyone to more effectively surmount similar trials in the future. I must say it's been far too long since I engaged in such a refreshing exchange of ideas. My colleague was equally delighted by the opportunity, you may be assured. Some decry it as a little more than an academic exercise. After all, we failed to reach a meaningful consensus. But I dare say they miss a forest for the trees. Are we not more enlightened by the experience? Have we not been exposed to a greater variety of viewpoints? Is there not value in this alone? I truly believe we are blessed to be part of a society that exalts the free exchange of ideas and that encourages active participation in the public discourse. This may have been no more than your first foray into the exciting world of rhetoric, but I sense you have the soul of a debater in you. You may well have the potential to change Amaurot in ways no one ever thought possible. I shall be watching your trajectory with great interest, my young friend. Okay. As I said, it is rather unusual that quests with a picture only have a quest, even if it's a bit longer one. But well, together they make an episode, right? So those were the 3 quests in Amaurot. And the Aethercurrents. Until next time then, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I am Mace, and don't get lost.